In this video, we'll be talking about the ubiquitous iPad, how to get the most out of this unit in the cockpit from two easy mounting methods. Clearly, the iPad has become ubiquitous in general aviation as well as in commercial aircraft. There's so much you can do with it, and it can become a replacement for charts that would normally occupy a great deal of space in the cockpit. Although, I give you this one caveat. If you're using your iPad in the cockpit, it's never unwise to have a paper backup at hand. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to carry the full complement of charts with you. Let's look at two mounting solutions for the iPad. This is an iPad 2. I believe that most of us in general aviation, and certainly a lot of motorcycle riders, are familiar with RAM mounts. These are easily acquired, or knockoffs of them, on the internet, places like eBay and the various websites of avionics manufacturers. Not a bad place to start. This particular mount is one that permits the entire iPad to be mounted in place over the control yoke in this 1970 Piper Cherokee. Once the RAM mount, which is really just a series of universal joints connected to a clamp, has been secured in place to the shaft on the control yoke, it's a very simple matter to simply slip the iPad 2 into place. As you can see, it just snaps into the mount like that. A perfectly fair and objective criticism of this method of mounting your iPad in the cockpit may be that when you encounter turbulence, it's a little bit difficult to tap and get exactly what you want using the iPad. It also may be a little inconvenient as you have to change the attitude of the aircraft using the control yoke to keep the iPad oriented in a way so that it's useful to you. So if you agree that yoke mounting may not be for you, here's an alternative for the iPad. This is a knee board, very inexpensive. This one produced by a company called Sky High. The Sky High knee board is secured very simply, just using a large Velcro strap. And as you can see, it's quite securely here on my thigh. Included with this knee board is a stylus, which may come in handy in turbulence, as it's sometimes a little bit more difficult to orient your fingertip than it is using a stylus. So we've seen two different ways to mount the iPad in an aircraft cockpit. In this instance, first using a RAM mount, then using the Sky High knee board. Our preference, although we haven't used either a great deal, probably leans toward the Sky High knee board. As you can see, the chart that I'm using has a feature that enables us to make it more useful at night by switching the background to black. In subsequent videos, we'll look at some accessories that can turn your iPad into a weather reporting genius.